Now, this is a segment that we don't usually do that often, and I apologize. We have clients that own broodmares with us. I own a piece of most of them. I find it intriguing now. Ask me in 2-3 years if I find it intriguing. I don't know. These are horses that we're not breeding to necessarily commercially market. So we do have a few clients that are like, yeah, we should breed to this horse and then put the yearling in the sale. Listen, I see how that works out. If you're not Hanover, Diamond Creek, and I don't mean consignments, I mean they're your horses. If you're not a big farm, more times than not, you're not getting paid top dollar, and I just don't think it's a wise venture and endeavor. It's a wonderful feeling to think that you can breed, a trotter to Walner or whoever, and raise that baby up and shine it up and bring it to the sale and make $1 million. Good luck. There's a lot of people that think that way, and unfortunately, I go to every sale. I see every sale and see it for what it is. And there's just a lot of times where you have a lot of good-looking yearlings that get underpaid for because they don't have flashy consignments in front of them. And further to that point, you'll have some horses that are those good-looking horses. They are in the consignment under the umbrella of that consignment, but not necessarily that consignment's yearlings. They don't get the same traffic. They don't get the same eyeballs on them, and they don't get the same money. And I just don't think I'm that interested. I'm interested in breeding because to breed a horse and bring it along, it was ours, right? We did it from day one. But the idea that we're going to breed it and sell it, if you're out there and you're one of our clients thinking that we're going to breed these yearlings, breed these babies or these mares and then sell the yearlings and, all buy a yacht and vacation, it's just not going to happen. So we do have some mares that are good looking mares. And, along the way, for instance, Stolen Dance and a Muscle Hill mare with decent family, I think, if we were to breed her and her first foal did well, and by the time that first foal is doing well, we'd have that mare in foal to let's say an upgraded sire. Then at that point, I guess it would make sense if the market was hot and it made sense, you could sell that mare in foal in like the Harrisburg sale. Then yeah, okay, you can make an argument to do that. That was the plan with Nancy Allison when I bought remember way back when, I bought that breeding to Walner to breed Nancy Allison. The idea was to put Nancy Allison in the next year's Harrisburg sale in foal to Walner. But I got paid the same money I would have in my head had things gone pretty good, to get Nancy Allison in foal, feed her, care for her, all the way up to next year's Harrisburg sale, and then sell her. I thought I got the same money as I would have for her in foal to Walner. So how couldn't I sell her? I was going to sell her. I just fast forwarded a year. I ended up taking a little haircut on the Walner breeding. I had paid $17,000 for that breeding in Lexington. I ended up selling it online for $16,500. We were going to breed Stolen Dance to the Walner breeding. The problem was that it's an expensive breeding, and that gimmick breeding, so that breeding for the charity, was non-refundable. You pay the $17,000, you can breed Stolen Dance all 2021 season. If she doesn't get in foal, your money's gone. Foal dies, money's gone. So there was a lot of risk there. I understood, and it was a fair question and a fair observation that maybe I was going to do it. I had no problem doing it. But to ask other people too, maybe it was a lot. So I just sold the breeding. I ended up taking a $500 loss, but when we factored into the Nancy Allison deal, it wasn't a big deal. When it comes to these mares, so we have Capistrano, who's now a broodmare, Dewey Ann, Muscle Chrome, Stolen Dance, all pretty good bloodlines for the most part. I talked to John, between John, myself, and someone else, we own almost all of Capistrano. John and Julia love Capistrano, and John's been a very, very good client since day one. So I had told John way back in the summer, I think you have 3 options with Capistrano: put her in a claimer, sell her, or breed her. It's pretty fair. I can't be any more blunt than that. And I could tell by the look on John's face, he loves this filly and did not want to sell her or put her in a claimer. So I'm happy. I'm happy to, she's this filly, first out of a sister to Mr. Feelgood, and Remember When, one of the best broodmares in the business, I believe, and a very good mare in her own right. So I don't have a problem breeding Capistrano. This filly took a mark of 53 as a 2-year-old and was one of the nicest grassroots fillies in Ontario at 2. In fact, a leader going into the grassroots semifinals at 2. So Next question was, who do we breed her to? I was partial down by the seaside, but it seemed like hundreds of other people were also. I had called the booking agent at Diamond Creek for for breeding. I know them pretty good. We buy some horses off them. We bid on a lot of their horses. I've known Adam for 2 or 3 years. Adam Bowden had a horse in our stable in the second year of the stable.ca. Diamond Creek did. So he said, I just can't, nothing I can do. He's overbooked by 71, I think he said, 71 people. So I was on a waiting list of 72. That's not going to happen. So what do we do next? Talk to Joe McLeod. Now, Joe McLeod had mentioned Lather Up might be a decent spot, and maybe it was. But when I talked to Joe, he mentioned something else. He said, if you go and breed that horse in Kentucky, the way the Kentucky Sires and Awards program's set up, you would be considered a Kentucky bred. If you're bred in Kentucky, the mare has to stay in Kentucky for 187 days. At that point, ship the mare to me, Joe, in Ohio. I'll foal her out. And now if it's an Ohio bred horse, if she foals out and stays the remainder of the time in Ohio, she's Ohio bred, plus, again, she's a residency mare in Ohio. So your residency program in Kentucky and Ohio, and dual eligible horse. So that was on my mind. There is a charity auction for breedings going on right now. Now, Muscle Chrome, I own the vast majority of Muscle Chrome, and I like Muscle Chrome. I don't know why. She's slow, but she's decently bred, and I like her. I was going to breed her to Long Tom, simply because I like the Long Toms that we have. Now, they weren't fabulous yesterday, but Of Tom was the first training trip off a OCD operation, and Slim Jimmy's always been pretty good. And I would suspect that you're going to see a much different Prairie Fire the next time he goes under the drone. I'm going to be working on him all week. So I like the Long Toms. Now, in this auction, there's also an Uncle Peter breeding. There is a What the Hill breeding. So there's a number of breedings there that are interesting. Now, the Uncle Peter, I did have a couple of clients that own decent portions of Stolen Dance saying, if you're going to breed Muscle Chrome in Capistrano in Kentucky and Ohio, why don't we do the same for Stolen Dance? We could, but Stolen Dance is a Muscle Hill. So, the thing that attracted me to Long Tom was he's a Muscle Hill. We can't breed her to a Muscle Hill sire. So who do we breed to? And this particular client, 2 clients were on the ball immediately, just like that. Yeah, what about Uncle Peter? All right, you got me. I don't want to tell you. Uncle Peter's done very good for the stable, and that is an option that is on the table right now. And this on-the-table stuff will be concluded this week, I can guarantee you that. Where we're going to. Now, the front runner as of right now was in Ontario, Archangel. But if you would like to go the route of Kentucky and Ohio, and keep in mind, you can go Kentucky, Ontario. You could breed Archangel. You could breed the mare in Kentucky to Archangel. Leave her there for 187 days. Bring her back to Ontario and foal her out here. That's a possibility. I believe. Now, I don't know how the residency thing works in Ontario. I'm assuming it's the same. I believe it is, but I would have to look into it. But as far as Uncle Peter goes, you're not going to have me say too many negative things about Uncle Peter. He's done a lot of good for the stable.ca, I can tell you that. So that too is on the table as far as what we can do. So let's get right to it here. Capistrano, I believe, is going to go to Lather Up, although I did put a bid on the Fear of the Dragon breeding. If we can get the Fear of the Dragon breeding fairly affordable, then, would you have to twist my arm? No, I love the way Luck of the Dragon looks. He looks like $1 million. So, now Luck of the Dragon's not a big horse. So is Fear of the Dragon going to throw a little Shih Tzu, a little poodle out of Capistrano? I don't know. So, I guess this is a conversation for the group, the Capistrano group. But for the most part, I would say as of right now, Lather Up's the front runner. But we do have a bid on Fear of the Dragon, and I think Fear of the Dragon would be fine. But we'll see. Dewey Ann, we're going to miss next year with Dewey Ann. I can't keep having June foals with this mare. It's not going to do her any good. I like the 2 horses we've had so far. Apparently, the colt out of Dewey Ann is a really nice colt and very correct. So very happy with the My MVP colt. She's going to have another My MVP baby this year. And then and then we'll see what we're going to do. But I think we're going to miss this breeding season like we did with Stolen Dance. Now, Stolen Dances, I'd love to say this was planned. It wasn't, but I think it works out better to have the foal rebred in March or April and have a younger foal. This June foal stuff, it's not that appealing. And kind of might, depending on the horse, set you back a little bit. Not well, I guess financially, but time-wise, it may set you back a little bit at the start. So I think it makes much more sense just to skip the season with old Dewey when she has this My MVP colt. So that's that. Where'd he go here? No. Next would be Muscle Chrome. As I said, I'm leaning towards Long Tom for Muscle Chrome with the Kentucky, Ohio connection. I believe that's what we're going to do. I don't really have much interest in breeding Muscle Chrome in Ontario. First off, I think Ontario might be one of the toughest jurisdictions in the entire universe. Outside of Pennsylvania, I think it's easily second. Now, I'm biased. I could be wrong. New Jersey's always tough. The Pacers aren't, but the Trotters are. You know, a lot of tough jurisdictions right now, and I would rather just stick to what we're good at, what we've had a lot of luck with, and it looks like we're gonna have a lot of luck again this year. So Muscle Chrome, I'd say the front runner is that bid that I have in on Long Tom in the charity auction. A very affordable horse to breed to, and from the offspring I see in our barn, very happy with what I see so far. So that just leaves Stolen Dance still a little up in the air. I'd say we have Archangel here. Resolve is an option, I believe. And then, obviously, if we go the other route, you could go Uncle Peter. But let's see what shakes down this week with those. We're going to have to start booking these horses immediately over the next week or two. So that is how the broodmares, I can't believe I just spent 12 minutes talking about broodmares. Capistrano, the front runners. Let's go with the front runners. Capistrano is going to lather up with the Kentucky, Ohio combination. Dewey Ann will have the year off after she gives foals out this My MVP baby. Muscle Chrome, front runner. Long Tom, again, Kentucky, Ohio. And Stolen Dance, a few little questions there. Archangel might be the leader so far, but we still do have the option for Uncle Peter, again, Kentucky and Ohio. So we'll see how this shakes out, but for now, that is where we're looking for the broodmares thus far. Be back in just a minute.